This is Dr. C. Dexter Wise III with the Lord's top 2 commandments. And the second, like it, is this: you shall love your neighbor. You shall love your neighbor. This verse comes from Mark chapter 12, but in Luke's account of this same incident, when Jesus declared that you should love your neighbor, one of the scribes pressed him and asked this question: well, who is my neighbor? This is where Jesus told the parable of the Good Samaritan. I don't have time to go into that right now. You can look it up in Luke chapter 10. But it turns out that if you want to know who your neighbor is the one who is near. Not the one who I know, not the one who I like, not the one who looks like me or talks like me, but the one who is near. The one who is near my house, the one who is near my city, the one who is near my office, the one who is near my country, near my planet. The neighbor is the one who is near. Then your neighbor is the one who is in need. Notice that this Good Samaritan, the person who was in need, the man who was wounded, he did not even ask. He wasn't able to ask. But the Good Samaritan saw him as his neighbor because he saw that he was in need. So being in need is not merely a function of being able to ask, but being in need makes that person your neighbor. Your neighbor is the one who is near. Your neighbor is the one who is in need. And then your neighbor is the one who ought to know about the love of God. If you know somebody that doesn't know God, that's your neighbor, and you ought to tell them about God and tell them about the saving blood of Jesus. My neighbor is the one who is near. My neighbor is the one who is in need. My neighbor is the one who ought to know about God. So, what are we doing for our neighbor? Well, you ought to love